cycle? Just the word cycle. What is a cycle? Aubrey?
Cycle is like something that goes over and over again. Like for example, the human body cycle would start out as a baby, then you turn into a toddler, then a kid, and a grown up.
Okay, so why is cycle part of the word bicycle? You guys notice that I wrote that up there? Pam? Around. Very good. All right, I want you all to follow along as I read this and listen to what the book defines. Oh, I hear voices. All right, Matthew, you want to move over just a little bit so that all your friends can see? Thank you. All right, so just listen to what the book defines the water cycle as. The water cycle. Make sure you can see that. The sun is part of the water cycle. Water moves between the ground and the sky in the water cycle. Heat from the sun evaporates water into water vapor. Water vapor is a gas that rises into the air. Then the water vapor cools and condenses or forms tiny drops of water. The drops form a cloud. Water falls from the cloud. The cycle begins again. So what is a water cycle? I want to see quiet hands. Olivia, what is a water cycle? What is a water cycle? Brady? Who can help Olivia?
It's a cycle, and it's just doing this.
Hold on. You guys, we need to listen and use our cares so that we. Okay, then.
Moving.
All right, why don't you move over here by me and then. All right, well then you guys have to be quiet, okay? All right. Oh, I can't continue until I hear quiet voices. Let's all track hope.
It's still a cycle, but like all it is water like from a puddle, and then it evaporates, and then it goes into a cloud, and then it goes back down again, and then it keeps on going over and over again.
Yep, the water cycle is how water moves between the ground and the sky, and it is something that happens over and over. Who knows the word accumulation? Think about that. What do you guys think accumulation is? Matthias, can you tell us?
Well, I heard of it, but I don't know about it.
Okay, who can tell us what it is? Yes?
A form of tiny drops.
Accumulation. A cloud, I think, is what the forms from a tiny drops of water. What's accumulation? Have you guys ever heard the weatherman say, oh, well, we're going to get 3 to 7 inches of accumulating snow? Have you guys heard that?
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean?
I know what it means.
Ava? Yeah, it's a build-up of precipitation. So we are going to learn about the water cycle, and you know what? I have some hand motions you guys get to learn. All right, so when water evaporates, we're going to do this for evaporates. I want to see all of you guys doing it. Water evaporates, which means it turns from a liquid into a gas that we cannot see. When the water gets up into the atmosphere, it forms a cloud. It condenses. Condenses, what does condense mean? Matthias? It condenses, which means the water vapor cools and forms tiny drops of water. And then when the tiny drops of water group together, they make clouds. So then after the clouds form, water falls in precipitation. What kinds of precipitation are there? Aubrey?
There is rain, snow, sleet, and hail.
You guys all hear Aubrey?
No.
Can you say it out loud again so everyone can hear you? We're all tracking Aubrey. Rain, snow, sleet, and hail. Those are all types of precipitation. So when the precipitation falls on the ground, it builds up, and what's the word we just learned? Accumulates, and this is accumulates. So let's do that again. So water evaporates into the air, condenses and forms a cloud, falls as precipitation, and accumulates on the ground. And accumulates could be like puddles, it could be snow, it could be ice, it could collect in lakes. So now, I want you guys to echo and show me the hand motion when I say the word. So evaporate.
Evaporate.
So what happens when water evaporates? Molly?
It turns into water vapor and rises up into the atmosphere.
Yes, it changes from a liquid into a gas that we cannot see. All right, I want you guys to do the same thing. Echo and motion. Condenses.
Condenses.
So what happens when water condenses? The water vapor condenses. Can I see a new hand? Addison?
When it condenses, it cools down, and when the drops get close together, they form a cloud.
Did everybody hear what Addison said? She was right. So when water vapor cools, it turns back into a liquid, tiny drops of water, and these tiny drops of water collect and form a cloud. So let's do the same thing. Echo and motion for precipitation. I didn't hear everybody.
Precipitation.
What is precipitation? Nathan, can you tell us what precipitation is?
Precipitation is I forgot.
Think about our hand motion. What's happening? Keep the thought in your head. We'll come right back to you. Ava, can you help them?
It's the rain that falls.
It's the rain that falls. What other kinds of precipitation is it?
Rain, snow, sleet, and hail.
Yep, all right. So, Nathan, what is precipitation?
Rain, snow, sleet, or hail.
It's the moisture that falls from the sky. It could be rain, snow, or hail. All right, let's do the last one. This one isn't on here, but I want you guys to remember this. Accumulation. So what's accumulation? Well, first, let me hear you all say it.
Accumulation.
Accumulation. What is accumulation? Sam?
When the rain comes on clouds.
Yep, and they root up and they build up on the ground. So, look at this picture. What's happening to the water in this puddle? TJ?
The water is turning black into a puddle.
Well, what happens when the sun's energy hits that puddle? What's happening to the water?
The sun's energy hits the puddle. It starts to give it more.
Keep the thought in your head. Let's see if we can help him. Yep. It evaporates. What happens to the water in the puddle? Evaporates. Let's see the motion. When the sun hits the water, the energy, the water evaporates. What happens when the water condenses? Oh. Yep, the water vapor cools and forms tiny drops of water and falls or forms into a cloud. Who can tell me what happens next? Great. What happens next? After clouds, what happens?
It rains and we end this, over and over and over and over, like that whole thing.
Yep. So what's another word for rain?
Oh yeah, and that's what I gained.
Okay. What's the
And not the ones in the movies and books.
what's another word for rain? Nathan?
Precipitation.
Precipitation, and then when precipitation gets to the ground, it accumulates. All right, so we get to do a very fun worksheet today.
Yes.
There, if you notice, are some blanks with letters by it. What we're going to do is we're going to have a word bank up on the computer. Oh, I want to hear quiet so I make sure you all know what you're doing. We're going to have a word bank up on the computer, which is going to be up on the screen, and you guys get to label each parts of the water cycle. All right? You guys have any questions?
Hey, shouldn't that be A? Shouldn't the C be A, then B, and then C, and then D? The wing should be that.
Well, a cycle is something that happens over and over and over again, so as long as you start and stop at the same spot, you cover it all.
Yeah, but...
Ava, hold on. Maybe if there's time, if I see you all working very hard, we might have some time to color. All right, one more question. TJ?
How will we know how to spell that?
The words will be right up on the board, so you'll have the word bank up there. All right, no more questions. So show me one. Take two. When I see you all are quiet and you have a pencil out, I will pass out the worksheet. Pencil.